To heel or not to heel? That's the question. It leads us on to our final discussion. What impact does your footwear have on your professional performance? Unless you're a footballer or a ballerina, probably very little, you should think. So why are corporate dress codes requiring women to wear high heels at work? Well, earlier this year, a temporary worker, Nicola Thorpe, was sent home without pay for refusing to meet the female grooming policy of wearing 2 to 4 inch heels for her role as a receptionist. Well, she was incensed by what she felt was a sexist policy towards female employees, and she started a petition to make it illegal for a company to require women to wear high heels at work. Around 150,000 signatures later, this week the petition was discussed at a Parliamentary Equalities Committee. The question is, would a man have to succumb to the same sartorial stipulations, or is it only women who have to toe the line when it comes to corporate clothes? Well, along with Nicola, we're going to be joined by Liz Brewer, a behaviour and etiquette expert as well. But first, armed with his favourite stilettos, you know, he indulged while he was at university, Tommy took to the streets of London to find out if it's high time to leave those high heels at home.
Ow. Ow. You know what? No. How does anybody walk in these? Would you wear these in the workplace?
No.
Why?
They're red and they're very, very high.
Okay, you picked up on the colour first, though. I like that. They're red. It doesn't go with anything that I have.
I want to be comfortable when I'm going to work, not to feel like I'm forced to wear something.
Would you always wear high heels in the workplace?
I don't, but especially when I have some meetings or I'm attending a conference, it just makes me feel more in authority, more in power. You're dressed smart because you're on the TV. I'm dressed smart because I'm working. It really depends on where you work and what you work as.
So could it be justified? You know, you're a corporate company with a certain image and you want ladies to wear high heels.
If it's justified in a way where it's company kind of protocol for them to wear the certain type of outfit or to represent the company a certain way.
Why don't you come into work in tracksuit bottoms and real casual wear? I mean, does it matter what you wear then at all?
I personally think it doesn't matter. I can do my job wearing whatever I want.
I personally really like to look smart, but to me that doesn't mean I have to wear heels. But I do have about 4 pairs of heels under my desk.
I think it's important that there are guidelines within the workplace, but to enforce certain things that are not appropriate is not the right thing to do.
Is it sexist for an organisation to impose a high heel dress code on their employees?
I think it definitely is. If the heels are not imposed on males, why should they be imposed on females at all?
What if you work for a corporate company and they went, yeah, you know what, this guy's got it going on. I'll tell you what we'd like you to wear a nice tight T-shirt when you come into the workplace. Come in a little tank top. Let's see what you're about.
I probably would. I'd follow what was being told just to see. But yeah, no, you raise a valid point.
You want the choice?
Right.
Whether to wear them or not, it's up to you.
So when I wear heels, it's up to me. They just don't tell me to wear heels.
Right.
You could wear heels if you wanted to.
You know what? I think I will. I feel empowered.
So Tommy feels empowered, does it? You know, what did we make you do this morning?
They made me walk around on my tippy toes just to kind of try to recreate. I did about 30 seconds. I couldn't do it.
How are your feet now?
No, they're still sore. Still sore.
Struggling. You've kind of formed an opinion in some ways.
Yeah, it's impossible. I don't know how you ladies do it.
Well, you know, actually today, I wore flats because I was expecting you to wear the heels this morning. But I wore my flats. But, you know, let's talk to Nicola because also in flats as well. Are they the ones you wore to work?
They're very similar too.
Very similar. Are all dress codes oppressive? Do they necessarily have to be oppressive?
No, I don't think all dress codes are. I agree that an employer has the right to impose a formal dress code on customer-facing employees. What I do have a difficulty in understanding is, as it currently stands, the law says an employer can distinguish between male and female dress codes. Now, I don't understand why that is essential in a role that isn't gender-specific.
What about, and I could throw lots of examples to you, what about at a makeup counter?
Yes, because it's promoting a particular brand,
exactly,
and that is
a
the
way
product.
of wearing makeup. So there has to be a distinction, doesn't there, between men and women?
Not necessarily, because a man working in a makeup store would also wear makeup.
Blusher, lipstick, mascara.
Not necessarily all of it, and that would be down to their choice, of course, and that's part of what I'm trying to do with this campaign and the petition, is that it should be about choice, for women to have as much choice to be comfortable at work as men do.
Liz, this comes down to what your idea of comfortable is and what smart is. I know what I'm comfortable in, out of work. I'm comfortable in my flat shoes. You've chosen to wear heels today. Yeah. Can employers skew the difference between what's acceptable?
Can they dictate?
Yes.
You see, in many ways, I agree exactly with what Nicola's done. It is about time this was addressed, especially in the workplace. And to expect women to be wearing heels for 7 or 8 hours a day, and not quite sure if we're talking about heels or we're talking about high heels, because there is a difference. I mean, a high heel would be ridiculous to wear for 8 hours. Even I couldn't do that. And I do wear heels because I'm not very tall, and I like to be a bit taller. But in this particular instance, here we have, in the workplace, you are representing the company. You need to look smart. A high heel doesn't necessarily determine looking smart. You can have a heel, you can have a thick little heel. There is a difference between heels and flat shoes. Now, flat shoes, if they are suggesting that flat shoes are untidy, that's a mistake. I mean, you're looking perfectly good, but you've got a substantial flat shoe. There are things like the ballet shoes, which are very much in vogue now because since the millennium, 15 years, girls have actually destroyed their feet because they have been wearing shoes which were totally unsuitable for feet. You know, when baby's born, she just has cartilage. She doesn't form the foot or the 28 bones, etc., for about 16, 17 years. Now, during that time, the foot has to grow, and from then on, you have to look after your feet. So I do agree with her. They do need to change the law, and employers do have to address that and not insist on high heel.
Andrea, is it oppressive?
Well, can I say this, that Nicola looks absolutely stunning today and would look wonderful in any smart in any position. I think that really behind that question, I mean, obviously, if the rule to wear heels is somehow about objectifying the woman, then of course that would be sexist. If it is more to do with a company's culture and a dress code, then it wouldn't necessarily be so at all, because actually, you know, men in the city, they have to be suited and booted, they have to put on a tie, they have to wear a sharp collar. So there is an appropriateness about uniforms or dress codes that are...
Have you ever felt that you've needed to dress a certain way, or ever felt
Of course, and I'm not against dress codes. That's normal, and I think that there is a difference between men and women. But the point to just write these down and say you have to think about it, it's a problem, because in fact it's deeper than that. It's the very presence of women on the labor market. This is the point, that whatever you can say, this is the culture of the company. No, at the end, the only thing which has to be clear is that it's for the woman to choose, is not for you to impose. Decency, that's right. Skills, that's right. And then go for the same salary from the same skills, and that are the main problems that we have today. But this kind of discussion about imposing this, and this is the only way, this is our culture. No, it's not a culture. This is sexism in a clear way, and I think that we cannot just accept a company culture in such a way.
Tommy, let's just find out what our viewers are saying, shall we? Because this is going to stir up some emotion.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people saying that we should be able to wear what we want in the workplace. Health and safety concerns also being raised as well. Chris says women at work should wear whatever they feel comfortable in as long as it's practical for the job. Richard says, hang on a minute, why just women? Why can't blokes wear what we feel comfortable in too? I hate having to go to work and meetings in a suit. I'd much rather wear my trackie. I agree with you there, Rich. Helen says, I actually think heels in the workplace should be regarded as a health and safety issue. So next week, I'm coming in a tracksuit and high heels. Done.
I'm wearing I'm going to drop the high heels. I'll be in my tracksuit. Yeah. Is it sexist? There's a line to be drawn, isn't there?
Tarek made a point here about the employer. There is a way of describing a dress code and explaining it. And women and men do not like to be dictated to. If you're going to say, you cannot wear heels, well, hang on a minute. What you need to do is sit there and explain what it is that is expected of you regarding dress smart and shoes in particular. And if it is the fact that you are front of house and you're welcoming and you may occasionally have to get up and greet a guest, yes, maybe a heel, but not a high heel, but a heel might be considered better than a flat.
Hasn't it become normalised that women are not only expected to look smart at work, but also to look attractive? Like you were saying, it is integrated into our culture. It's not just business culture, that women are still seen differently.
What's the goal of your campaign then? Is it to not have just the dress codes, or is it to make sure that women don't feel under pressure to be attractive rather than functional?
I think that's very important. That's difficult to do with change of legislation, but I think that if legislation is changed, then the response to that would be fantastic. You know, women already, because of the campaign, are thinking about, you know, why do I feel like I need to be attractive at work? And employers are thinking, what can we change to make women feel comfortable and feel like actually the focus needs to be on whether people can do their job, not whether they look attractive.
Tariq, you were nodding. Have you ever felt the pressure to be attractive at work?
No, never. Never happened to me. Thank you for the question. But I think,
was casting no doubt about it.
No, but I think that the point is very important. The very moment you start asking the question, are we expecting you to be attractive and functional, it means that there is a difference between man and woman. And I think that's wrong. That's the starting point of the problem. Be functional, do your job, and be comfortable. You have to feel...
There is a difference between men and women.
I think increasingly men are finding. I think increasingly men are feeling the pressure on this as well.
No, but the point is to impose it.
The final word, 10 seconds.
We live in a generation where gender norms all the lines are being blurred, and I just think to have that in law, in legislation, is not right.
OK, Nicola, Tariq, Andrea, Liz, thank you so much for your time today. That's it from us today. Thank you to our guests, of course, and to you for your comments throughout the programme.